strong roadmap is really the opposite. It's a living planning tool that guides decision making throughout the year. Every decision that is made as it relates to IT and technology should support the overall vision and the roadmap. First, it's grounded in business direction, not technology trends. The roadmap should start with firm's priorities. What are the growth plans of the firm? Is there expansion plans? Is there a plan to go international and open up additional offices? Things like that. Risk tolerance. What is your risk tolerance? That's going to define the type of equipment. Just like Jeff said, you can buy a cheap, low-end, off-the-shelf device, or you can buy something that's going to support additional features and functionality that's going to help later on down the road, specifically around security, for example, having some security features that's going to help with vulnerability management and even cybersecurity insurance. You might have to implement some things that normally off-the-shelf stuff may not support. Client experience expectations, or user experience expectations, Wi-Fi performance, things like that can help drive those types of decisions. And again, predictable budgets and things like that. And then other operational constraints within the business, whether it be financial or operations or such. Technology exists to enable these outcomes, not lead them. I think that's one of the big differences in our approach to roadmap is how can we leverage technology to support the business and what the business is trying to do long term. Second, it creates alignment. Leadership understands where investment is growing and why. IT understands what matters most to the business. Service partners, managing partners know how to prioritize work, so they're not just reacting to tickets. They're advancing strategy. Again, it goes back to every decision that's made as it relates to technology supports the overall long-term roadmap and strategy. Third, it's continuously reviewed. It is not a static document, it's a living document. You're constantly looking at it, you're constantly reviewing it, you're constantly making decisions against it, and you're constantly updating it as business requirements change, as risks change, as vendors change, as staff change, as regulations change. Some law firms will support government contracts, and so that's going to add additional compliance requirements that your technology has to support. HIPAA or FINRA, finance or healthcare organizations have other regulations that you have to comply to. If your roadmap doesn't evolve with those realities, it stops being a roadmap and becomes a history document. And finally, modern roadmaps are heavily influenced by cybersecurity expectations, especially cybersecurity insurance. Some policies, you won't even get approved for some policies if certain things aren't in place. Or your premiums are exponentially higher if you don't meet some of these cybersecurity requirements in order to get cyber insurance. Many organizations discover coverage requirements only during renewal or after a claim, but a strong roadmap anticipates those controls early and plans maturity improvements over time instead of forcing expensive emergency projects. So the goal isn't to predict every project for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That's impossible. But the goal is to create a structured decision framework that keeps technology investments intentional, defensible, and aligned with business